Hello my beautiful Facebook fam, Emily Diamond here. Checking in this morning to say hi. One of the Mojo Boss Lady program topics this week is all the participants are working on belief systems. I've just got this in coming back from drop off this morning, giving myself a sunshade. So they're working on identifying belief systems, because once you identify belief systems, they are very easy to change in my experience, and I've been working in that for almost 15 years, so I know a little bit about it. And the biggest barrier that I've distinguished with beliefs is just the accurate identification of them. Beliefs are this very sneaky, very cool filter that we have on our reality, and essentially we're always looking at our environment going, is it true, is it false? So do I believe that, do I not believe that? Our brain's filtering for other things too, like is it right or is it wrong, is it good or is it bad, do I like it, do I not like it? But beliefs are pretty much, is it true or is it false? Now, if we deem something to be false, we have confirmation bias and a couple of other cool little psychological tricks that we play where we then actually completely don't even process information, which is fascinating. So being aware of what your belief systems are is of critical importance. They sit at a level of consciousness that is just below our very easy conscious awareness. Attitudes, whether you like something or you don't like it. I like it, I don't like it. I like her, I don't like her. I like him, I don't like him. Yeah, I'm willing to listen to that, I'm not willing to listen to that. That stuff attitudinally is very, very conscious. We hear that going on with our self-talk. We are aware of it. And because it is so conscious, we can quite swiftly and with very little effort, we can override it. So we can have experiences like, I don't really like that person, and I'm going to put that aside and I'm going to be willing to listen to what they're saying. And we can actually process information that way, which means that you've just made a conscious change. You've been able to consciously override your default attitude that's come from your past conditioning and your future preferences. And you've been able to do a change in terms of the way you interact with your environment, which of course leads to completely different behaviours. But beliefs sit in this tricky place where we can be consciously aware of them, but they are running more unconsciously. The infrastructure, the neurology that hosts them is deeper and stronger. Attitudes, in fact, are a reflection of beliefs. So it's a bigger structure, a bigger system. And the barrier that we have is that we often then aren't consciously aware of what the beliefs are. Someone's trying to call me. And when we're not consciously aware of what the beliefs are, we then don't get to assess them for their validity and if they're working for us and if we want to keep them around. We don't get to see the flow-on effect of how they automatically inform our behaviour. And the Mojo Boss Lady participants this week are doing an exercise that enables them to become consciously aware of what their belief systems are. And I wanted to give all of you here today a lovely little tip on that you can just do straight away. Obviously, when you do this stuff in a program, it has a much deeper context and power because we're doing the right step at the right time. So these people have already been processing negative emotional responses from the past where they've over-conditioned and overdeveloped particular responses around anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt and shame. They've already been re-examining their unconscious conditioning. So beliefs are an appropriate step now. So doesn't mean you can't do the exercise though. Doesn't mean you can't get some benefit from it. Of course, things inside of a structure, there's a design, there's an intelligence behind that. We've been running that program for 10 years, so we do it at a certain time for a certain reason. But for you guys, like I said, there's no reason why you can't do this exercise and gain some insight and create a shift in your behaviour. So the thing to do is to start with behaviour. So start with behaviour and look at what are the behaviours that I have that are undesirable. Because if you've already got desirable behaviours, things that give you the results you want, you're probably not really interested in changing those beliefs. Okay, so just look to the behaviours that you don't like, the things you're not okay with, the things that annoy you that you do, that frustrate you about yourself, that you might call self-sabotage, all this sort of stuff. Okay, and once you've identified what those those behaviours are, you then go through a questioning process, which is logically, what must I believe to behave in that way? Logically, what must I believe to behave that way? Because behaviour is an unconscious representation of this unconscious conditioning, which beliefs are a part of. So that question becomes, logically, what must I believe to behave that way? And remember, beliefs can be true or false. So beliefs can be things like, the world is this way, and it can also be, the world is not this way. So we've always got these inverse, remember, because it's true or false. So the world isn't this way. The world isn't a safe place. Things are going to shit. I don't ever get what I want. I always go most of the way there, but can't quite get to the level of results I want, or things don't ever quite work out for me, or things do always work out for me. So have a look at the behaviour. We talk about behaviour as the ultimate truth, okay? Everything else is just blah, blah, blah. So have a look at behaviour. Feelings don't count when it comes to beliefs. It's behaviour that's your test, and work back from logically, what must I believe to be able to behave that way? I love you all. I'll talk to you later. If you want to check in with me about my next Mojo Boss Lady program, go over to the Mojo Boss Lady group and jump on into that group. You'll see our specific info, and we can have a chat about if it's right for you, have a heart to heart about it. And I'll check you guys all out later. Bye.